Evan Ong's success as an entrepreneur came with his fair share of early challenges. Although he worked his way up the corporate ladder, he soon left his job and established his own business. The rest, as they say, is history.
I actually grew up in a low-income or poor family. Yeah, my father died when I was still inside my mom's womb. I actually didn't have the chance to meet him personally. I grew up as a scholar since kindergarten all the way to college, and I started my very first business, 7 years old, selling fruit shakes in the wet market of Caloocan City. At the same time, I was helping my family assemble hangers, and we sell all these hangers to the Divisoria Mall. I was a full-time college student. I was in a hurry to finish my degree just so I will be able to start earning and helping my family financially. I actually started my very first job even before my graduation ceremony in De La Salle University. A few years after I started my first job in Deutsche Bank, I decided to pursue my MBA degree in the Ateneo Graduate School of Business. During my last year in Deutsche Bank, my family encouraged me to resign because, you know, in a traditional Chinese family, parents would usually push you to create your own business because in a traditional Chinese family, you cannot just be an employee forever. And that was the time I decided to put up my food business. It was a little bit difficult for me to just move forward, resign, and start from scratch again. Looking back, after 8 years, I must say I have no regrets. It's actually so fulfilling to be able to provide thousands of jobs to the Filipinos. I would say one of the reasons why I decided to put up food business is that I love eating. And at the same time, I have to admit that it's a very random idea. We actually started this company with just 5 million pesos. And who would have thought that right now, Fred Lee owns 250 branches nationwide in just 8 years with more than 2,000 employees nationwide. And what's so interesting about this is that we also employ people with disabilities. So even PWDs, they get to work with us. Fred Lee Group of Companies was established November 2014. We got inspirations from the names of my father and my mother. My father's name is Alfred, so we got the Fred. And my mother's name is Shirley, so we got the Lee. The reason why we name it after my dad and my mom is because all these achievements that we have right now are because of them, because they trained us well, they taught us well, so we want them to be remembered generations after generations. We opened our very first branch in Quezon City, November 30, 2014. We started with Japanese restaurants, and then later on we were invited by different principals abroad to bid for their franchise rights here in the Philippines. And then later on, 2017, we opened our very first branch of Macau Imperial Tea. And we're very fortunate, we're very blessed to be loved and supported by the Filipinos. In just 5 years, we were able to open 230 branches. That gives us the name of being the biggest and dominant player in the milk tea industry. There were a lot of struggles because I have no background in the food service industry. So people would always ask me, who was your consultant? I would probably tell them, Google. Yeah, so if you don't know anything, you just Google it. I was the employee number 1 and I was the only employee. I acted like the HR manager. I drafted my own contract for employment agreement. I drafted everything on my own. I was the branch manager. I do the cashier reading. I was once a dispatcher. I was once a server. Customers shouted at me. So all these things I've experienced.
Avin, as a business partner, he's very straightforward. He knows what he wants and he gets what he wants. He's a visionary, you know. I actually saw Fred Lee Group grew, with just a young age in the F&B industry. It became an industry leader. It became such an inspiration to a lot of SMEs na with a simple brand, with a simple product, it can grow to like 250 branches and more. And I think that's what's interesting about FGC because others were resting during the pandemic. FGC kept on working, kept on pushing the boundaries like there's no tomorrow. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's still growing today. And that's why more brands are approaching us to become acquired.
There were 8 brands under the Fredly Group of companies. So we have Mitasu Charcoal Yakiniku. Well, it was rebranded to Mitasu Yakiniku. So that was our Japanese yakiniku brand. We also have our Nabe, Japanese izakaya and hot pot. So it's basically a hot pot restaurant, but we are the only hot pot chain that offers you more than 21 types of soup bases. We also have Macau Imperial Tea. So of course, it's a milk tea place, and we want Macau Imperial Tea to be the Starbucks in the milk tea industry. That's why in Macau, you will see that our stores are usually big because we want people to not just grab and go, but to actually spend time with us. So we have 107 Co-working. That's actually our co-working concept because I started as a startup. We want to give people that environment where they can also brainstorm and establish their own business. We acquired 100% shares of New York Fries and Dips from the previous owner. We believe that the brand has so much potential and capacity, so we agreed to acquire 100% of the brand, and now we're growing it. We have Liang Crispy Roll, a brand we got from Shanghai. It's a go-to snack bar. We opened just last year, and in a few months, we were able to open 4 branches and many more to come. We recently launched our new brand. It's Happy Truck. So it's a food truck. In whatever events, we drive our truck to your event, and we serve you the best milk tea, the best crispy roll, and the best fries. It was also during the pandemic that we opened our Kosaku International Buffet. And we have the biggest and longest conveyor there for you to get your favorite food for hot pot and yakiniku. We recently opened our cafe. It's a Japanese meets French cafe concept. It's our very first luxury brand. It's Cafe Kitsune all the way from Paris. As part of our vision to go IPO in the next 3 to 5 years, we are now acquiring more brands from abroad. For us to be able to grow up to 250 branches nationwide in just 8 years, of course, I would say that this is a very fast-paced organization. We act really, really fast. Yeah, we don't accept excuses, reasons, or alibis. We just have to do things really quick to address solutions instead of telling people challenges. The reason why I decided to join the Final Page Tech Edition is that I believe that the future of business is all about technology. It's all about digitalization. It's all about automation. So I find Tech Edition very interesting because I feel like this is the best time for me to work with an individual who is an expert for technology, not me, but somebody else, and we're gonna bring all these things into reality. I believe that I am the best partner or one of the best partners for startups because I understand them. I was once a startup, so I know very well the pain points of being a startup, and at the same time, I would be able to coach them on how to bring a startup to where Fredly Group of companies is right now.